Hi out there in the YouTube, it's me, the Puzzle Master, and today I'm going to be giving you 3 easy proofs on how to prove that the world is not what they've been telling us it is. And yeah, so to break this down, to make it really, really simple, I thought I'd just do 3 points, okay? And those 3 points, I'm going to start with our compass. Okay, so we all know about our compass. So, see those diagrams that I drew? This is the mysterious world that they expect us to believe that we live in, and I'm going to try to show you how that's not the case. Because the diameter of the Earth, they say, is about 12,713 kilometers, and I googled the diameter of the magnetic iron crystal core, and it's about 1,220 kilometers. Now, if you do the math of that, that means that the core is about 9.6% the size of the circumference of the Earth. Now, what is that? What can you basically tell from that? Well, that means that anywhere on the Earth that you're standing, even at the very North Pole, the strongest magnetic field lines pointing north would be pointing at the north part of the core, because that is the part that is magnetic. Couple other points I want to add in here is that heat destroys magnetic energy. So if you have a magnet, and you can do this experiment yourself at home to prove that I'm right, and if you don't want to use research and scientific knowledge, then you can use this as an example. If you take a magnet and you put it on the stove, I wouldn't use a real expensive, huge neodymium $200 magnet. I'd use like a small little neodymium magnet, but strong magnet, and expose it to heat, like on the element of the stove, for a long time, and then take it off, and the magnet will have lost its magnetic properties. And this is because heat destroys the magnetic field lines that are embedded or crystallized in matter. Now, they want us to believe that it acts like this. So that even though the core is deep, deep inside of the Earth, they want us to believe that it acts like a bar magnet. Now, you can look up on YouTube or on Google, or however you like to do your research, and look up blocking magnetic field lines. Like, it's basically impossible to block a magnetic field line. You know what I mean? So basically, if you had a compass, you could not put it in a box that would block the magnetic field. It's just too pervasive, all-encompassing, and goes through all of our fabric of space-time and our reality. And there's no blocking it. And how, if the core is what creates the magnetic fields, why does it always point level? Like if you have a marine compass, it will never point down, even if you're at the equator, or wherever on the Earth you are. It will never, ever point down. Ever. Now, my second point I wanted to make is with gyroscopes. Gyroscopic precession. Now, we all know that an object in motion wants to stay in motion unless something impedes that motion. Now, a gyroscope has special gyroscopic properties, and basically it will want to stay. If this is the if it's rotating like this in the air, you have to use your imagination a bit, then the axis of rotation being like this will be the plane that it will resist motion. Meaning you could raise it up and down, and that would be fine. And you could even bring it left and right, and that would be fine. But if you try to tilt it or torque it so that the axis plane changes, it will resist that motion. And that's actually how pilots can use gyroscopes to stable themselves and have a level horizon. That's actually how their fundamental principles in all planes work. And it does not shift with the movement of the Earth. You can do research into this. Wish I could remember the person's name, but I'll provide a link or something to their channel and to that video. And they left an electronic gyroscope running for like over an hour. And if the Earth rotates once in 24 hours, then you would expect that even in an hour, there should be some torque rotation, right? Because it's not just moving left and right, or up and down. It's supposed to be going on a sphere, or so they tell us. But that it doesn't precess. There is no gyroscopic precession. So I would like if you would check out that link. And then my third point, right at the bottom there, is equinoxes. And I actually came up with this one completely on my own, as well as the thing to do with the compass, how it never points down. I've never really heard anyone talk about that in any video before. Some people said I was like a mimicker and that I only regurgitate information that other people have said, and that's simply not the case, because 2 of these 3 points are my own. And I just really, really like the gyroscopic precession because I love science, and I like things that if we have it on a tangible level that we can hold in our hand, such as a gyroscope, then those same mathematical physics principles would apply to all of matter, including the Earth. And yeah, so with the equinoxes, how I want to explain this is they have a thing called, it's the sun refraction. If you Google that, sun refraction, it will tell you that you actually, when you see the sun, like right before sunset, so that it's like just a little bit up from the horizon, it's actually already set. And that is because of refraction. Now, that would mean that you can essentially see more of the day than you are supposed to. Now, think about on an equinox. Like, I love astrology, and astrology is really, really my thing. That's my favorite to talk about. But I also like discussing these mysteries with you. Now, if you think about light bending, okay? So we're going to imagine the 3D model that like mainstream science wants to, and NASA wants to throw in our face all the time as truth. But really take into consideration what they say. If light is bending around the horizon so that we can see the sun after it's already set, how is it possible ever to have an equinox with 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night? I would think that that would be impossible based on sunlight refraction. Just do a very simple example of imagine your eyeball. Okay? Now, imagine that the white part of your eye, including the back, like you actually just have an eye that you ripped out and you're looking at it, okay? Well, if the colored part of your eye, or your iris, that represents the shadow part. Now, if light, be representing the white part of your eye, is covering more than half, how is it ever possible to have an equinox, which we get every single year? So, once again, I will show you my little diagrams. And please like and subscribe if this is the first time that you've watched my material. And check out my other videos, because I have quite a plethora of other material. I like to talk about deep spiritual stuff, as well as more physical, tangible stuff, like the shape of our Earth. And I think that we can actually use a lot of this scientific data that they want to use to actually disprove, sorry my hair is so friggin' messy, but we can use their own scientific models to disprove them. And to quote Nikola Tesla, "Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality." So, mwah. I'll see you in future videos. Please like, subscribe, and share.